Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. Today is Monday. It's a holiday in Canada. It's in Ontario. It's a family day because we don't have any holidays after New Year's. So it becomes very dreary with all the winter, snow, and extreme chill. People get psychological problems. They get depressed. So a few years ago, the government introduced a new holiday for this period. And today is that holiday. It's called the Family Day. However, I'm all dressed up in formals because I have a few showings today. The market out here, real estate market in Toronto, is really crazy. The prices are sky high. The inventory is very low. And a buyer has to make maybe 8 or 10 bids before they are able to win any. And the prices are way above what one would expect for a property maybe just a year ago. So it's a crazy time, but yeah, the commissions are good, so it's fun. So let's get on with today's show. So today what I have to talk to you is generally about CRISPR market. And the very first thing I would like to talk about is the earnings calendar. And on Tuesday, we are expecting tdoc, Pulse Biosciences, and Bluebird to report. I don't have information whether they're going to report before market or after market, but we'll see that. On Thursday, we have Moderna. There are a whole lot of earnings report this week. However, these are the 4 that I'm keenly interested in. tdoc, because it is a major stake in ARC-G, and I have a small portion of ARC-G. And therefore, I want to see what happens to tdoc, what is their outlook, how they see the market. Next is Pulse Biosciences and Bluebird. These are also in our watch list. Of course, Pulse is not there, but Bluebird is there. And Moderna. So this is what I'm looking at. Let's go to the other thing I wanted to talk about today. So we have a lot of companies now coming up with reports on the CRISPR sector. And what that tells to me is that there's a lot of institutional interest in CRISPR, and that's the reason why these companies are coming up with CRISPR reports, which they are selling for good price. And one of the latest reports I saw was from Oppenheimer Research, and according to their research, they are downgrading the estimate for CRISPR in 2022 from their initial estimate of $8.93 to $8.28. And they have projections for 23, 24, 25. I don't know how they do this. They might have their own methodologies. I'd be very keen to look at one of these reports, of course, without having to shell out the money for it. But in 2023, they're expecting $9 per share earnings. 2024, $10.74. And in 2025, it drops to 4.55. So I'm assuming that they probably expect that in 2025, there could be share dilution. Because if you recollect our earlier analysis on CRISPR, I think it was a video I dropped a few days ago where we were looking at their R&D expenses and admin expenses as compared to the cash that they have in the balance sheet. So I had remarked that somewhere around 2024, they may probably need to raise more capital. So I would assume that that's what they have done in 2025. They assumed that there is issue of extra equity capital, thereby diluting the equity. So, for example, if initially there was 100,000 shares in circulations, now there will be 200,000. So, therefore, the earnings which would have happened gets divided by 2. That's how I think they have reached at an estimate of $4.55 in 2025. We'll see as we go ahead. The next thing they have also done is given price targets. So I thought, let me look at price targets from others as well and see how they stack up. So Oppenheimer is looking at a price target of 172 per share with a rating of outperform. Barclays has 107. They don't have a rating out there. Truist has got 220 as a price target with a buy rating. And Brookline Capital has got 143 price target with a buy rating. So as you can see, the range is all the way from 107 to 172. And as I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to estimate the value of these companies because the traditional method is to look at sales, to look at profits. But in this case, we don't have sales and profits for most of the companies. And if you look at the industry PE standards, we cannot do those kind of things. So that's the reason why there is a wide divergence based on the assumptions and the models used by the analyst. But it's nice to know what others are thinking. Next, let us look at the intake by institutional investors. So these are the recent stake balances with various institutional investors. And compared to them, I think I have a good enough stake in ArcG, because $35,000 for an institutional investor is peanuts in my opinion. Dark Forest Capital with 35,000, Albion 30, Larsen 30, CI Investment 30,000, Clustered Investment 38,000. However, overall institutional investors and hedge funds hold 55.21% of the floating shares of CRISPR Therapeutics. So this is how the stakes are breaking out. So overall, if 55% is by institutional investors, that gives you an idea that the market is still giving CRISPR Therapeutics a bottom value where it stands right now, mainly because the institutional investors have the holding capacity. If everything was retail investor, we would be at a much lower rate for CRISPR therapy by now. So more industry reports are coming. So the latest one is Orbis research report. You can go to orbis.com to have a look at the report. Of course, you have to pay for it if you want to have a look into the details, but they are given a summary, which is where I've taken this information from. So their report covers medical and agricultural sector, and also it's divided into product categories such as enzymes, libraries, and kits, etc. So, and it has covered a huge geographical area, because usually the reports I have seen before generally cover North America and Europe. But this one covers North America, which is US, Canada, Mexico, Europe, which is UK, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Central and Eastern Europe, and CIS. Asia Pacific consisting of China, Japan, South Korea, Asian nations, India, and rest of Asia Pacific. Latin America consisting of Brazil and rest of Latin America. Middle East and Africa, that is Turkey, GCC, rest of Middle East. So it's a wide range of coverage. So it could be useful for an institutional investor. I'll put the link down in the description if you want to go and have a look. And if you did buy it, just give me a sneak preview if possible. So now I would like to talk about another news item that I saw recently, and let's take a look at that. So this is a new news article. It's in mathandling.com, Australia. This is an Australian source. So it says CRISPR-Cas9 technology market set to witness explosive growth by 2029. Boston, Merck, AstraZeneca, GenScript. These are the companies which are mentioned in there. So yeah, this is another market research report. And again, as I mentioned before, when you start seeing a whole lot of market research reports coming in, this is the precursor to a great deal of interest in the sector by institutional investors. So that's what I wanted to say about this. Again, I'll put the links in the description below. You can go and have a look at it. And yeah, so that kind of brings me to an end of a very, very light session today. I just want to make sure that I stay in touch with you guys on a daily basis. There is always something to talk about. Today it was this. It's very light, but something to know. I'll meet you again tomorrow when the market opens, and hopefully there'll be a change in the sentiment in the market, and things start getting better. We can always hope. There is no tax on hopes, but the risks continue to persist. So I don't think our hopes will materialize the way we want it to. However, keep your motivations up. And see you tomorrow, somewhere during the business hours. Take care. Have a great day. And of course, don't forget to put a like there. And if you're here for the first time and looking at these videos, you can look at some better videos. I'll put it in the last end screen where we have more details and depth of information. And please subscribe and be a member of our CRISPR community. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.